Good evening to you, dear viewers. It's exactly 6 p.m. Cairo local time. This is the time for this English news bulletin coming to you out of Channel 2. This is Reem Tamer. We began this news bulletin with the political segment kicking off with the headlines. President Sisi, Pakistan's army chief, discussed strengthening bilateral cooperation. President Sisi holds a meeting with Prime Minister Madbouli, Minister of Tourism, on GEM opening. And Palestinian factions gather in Cairo as Egypt presses for unity. Welcome back. The news in full. President Fattah al-Sisi met on Saturday with Pakistan's Chief of Army Staff General Sayyid Asim Munir in the presence of Defense Minister Abdul Majid Saqr, Pakistan's ambassador to Cairo Amir Shaukat, and senior officials of both sides. Presidential spokesperson Ambassador Muhammad al-Shinnawi said the president hailed the growing cooperation between Egypt and Pakistan, affirming Cairo's commitment to strengthening bilateral ties across various fields to serve mutual interests. Pakistani General Munir conveyed greetings from Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and commended Egypt's role in promoting stability in the Middle East. He also congratulated President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on the success of the Sharm el-Sheikh Peace Summit, which resulted in an agreement to end the war in Gaza and lauded Egypt's humanitarian efforts in the Strip. The two sides also discussed regional security in the Middle East and South Asia and agreed to intensify consultations and cooperation in counter-terrorism and efforts to prevent regional escalation. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi stressed the importance of continuing the cooperation and coordination between concerned bodies responsible for the great celebration ceremony of the Grand Egyptian Museum opening to guarantee organizing a ceremony befitting the value of Egypt, and also it should be reflecting its leading position in the fields of global museums and culture and contributes to boosting the tourism promotion for Egypt. President al-Sisi also underscored the necessity that the ceremony reflects not only the greatness of this global museum, but also the greatness of achievement and upgrade witnessed by the Egyptian state in different fields. This came during a meeting held by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Tourism and Antiquities Sharif Fathi, member of United Media Services, and the General Supervisor of the GEM opening, Muhammad As-Saadi. The meeting was held to follow up on the ongoing preparations to organize the huge celebration for the opening of Grand Egyptian Museum on the 1st of November. Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdelati confirmed Egypt's desire to elevate its relations with Romania to the level of comprehensive partnership. Abdelati's remarks came at a meeting with Romanian counterpart Oana Toyo on the sidelines of his participation in the Egypt-European Union summit held in Brussels. In a statement released on Saturday, a foreign ministry said both sides reviewed bilateral relations and mutual commitment to enhance cooperation in different fields, including trade, investment, education, and culture. Foreign Minister highlighted the promising opportunities available in the Egyptian market for Romanian companies and pivotal role Romania can play in strengthening relations between Egypt and the EU, especially in the upcoming celebration of the 120th anniversary of Egypt-Romanian diplomatic relations. The meeting covered the latest regional developments, especially the Palestinian question. Romanian minister expressed the country's appreciation for Egypt's key role in supporting regional stability. In a separate phone call with Turkish Foreign Affairs Hakan Fidan, Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdelati expressed Egypt's aspirations for Turkey's active participation in the upcoming international conference on early recovery, reconstruction and development in Gaza, set to be held in Cairo in November. Both ministers addressed the strengthening bilateral relations and following up region developments of mutual interest. Top officials affirmed commitment on building positive momentum and promote cooperation across political, economic and investment sectors. They stressed the importance of advancing path of consultations and coordination on regional and support security and stability in the region. Minister of Foreign Affairs Badr Abdelati emphasized during a phone call with Dutch counterpart David Van Veel the importance of adhering terms of Gaza ceasefire agreement, implementing all its provisions. The two ministers discussed developments in the Gaza Strip and the need to support security and stability in the region. They also discussed the outcomes of the Sharm el-Sheikh Summit for Peace, which saw the signing of an agreement to end the war in Gaza. The Dutch minister praised Egypt's central role in brokering the ceasefire agreement. Regarding the upcoming international conference on early recovery and reconstruction that Egypt plans to host in November, Abdelati emphasized the international community to participate and implement early recovery and reconstruction plans for Gaza in line with the Arab Islamic plan for early recovery and reconstruction to safeguard the rights of the Palestinian people. Upon Egypt's invitation, under the auspices of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and continuing mediation efforts in Egypt, Qatar and Turkey for ceasefire in Gaza and resolving its repercussions, a number of Palestinian factions held a meeting in Cairo to discuss the developments of Palestinian question and second phase of U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to end the war in Gaza Strip in the framework of paving the way to hold a national dialogue to restore national unity. According to a joint statement, the Palestinian factions agreed to continue implementing the ceasefire deal and ending Gaza Strip blockade. They also agreed to hand over the administration of the Gaza Strip to a temporary Palestinian committee of technocrats in cooperation with Arabs and international institutions. They thanked Egypt under President al-Sisi's leadership for hosting the talks which aim at turning the current ceasefire into comprehensive, lasting peace. Hamas renewed its full commitment to ceasefire agreement in Gaza Strip, saying it had guaranteed the war is over, vowing to continue handing over remaining bodies of hostages. It also has demanded more pressure by mediators on Israel to abide by its responsibilities by ending siege and entering humanitarian aid. Meanwhile, Israeli media said that Washington is preventing Israel from taking any steps as a response to the delay of handing over the bodies of dead Israeli hostages for the third day in a row. Medical sources in Gaza Strip announced that the number of the death toll of the Israeli aggression rose to 68,519 martyrs and 170 and 382 injuries since the 7th of October 2023. On the ground, Israeli bombardment injured 2 Palestinians east of Khan Yunis, south of the Strip, in addition to the dangerous injury of a child by Israeli occupation fires northwest of Rafah in the south. Palestinian sources said that the occupation forces demolished residential buildings eastern Khan Yunis. The sources added that the occupation's artillery attacked eastern areas of Deir al-Balah in central Gaza Strip. With Gaza's education system shattered by 2 years of grueling war, UNICEF's regional director says he fears for a lost generation of children wandering ruined streets with nothing to do. After returning from the Palestinian territory, the UN agency's regional director for the Middle East and North Africa, Edward Bidder, said this is the 3rd year that there has been no school. He added that it is possible to imagine 80% of a territory that is completely flattened out or destroyed. He said the U.S. rocket ceasefire, which came into effect earlier in October, has allowed UNICEF and other education partners to get about 1/6 of children who should be in school into temporary learning centers. Israeli airstrikes killed 2 people in southern Lebanon, with Israel's military saying it had targeted members of Hezbollah. According to Lebanon's official national news agency NNA, 1 man was targeted by an Israeli drone with a guided missile while he was driving along the road to the village of Toul, not far from Nabatiyah. Elsewhere, Lebanon's health ministry later reported that another Israeli strike targeting a car had killed 1 person and wounded another. Israel has repeatedly bombed Lebanon despite the November 2024 truce, which sought to end more than a year of hostilities with Hezbollah that culminated in 2 months of open war. The latest attacks came a day after Israeli strikes on southern and eastern Lebanon killed 4 people, including an elderly woman. Russian missile and drone attacks on Ukraine overnight into Saturday killed at least 4 people and wounded 16 others in the capital Kiev. 2 people were killed and 9 were wounded in ballistic missile attack in the early hours of Saturday. Ukraine's Air Force has said Russia launched 9 missiles and 62 drones, of which air defenses intercepted 4 missiles and 50 drones. That North Korea was sort of a nuclear power as he left the United States for Asia on a trip that could include a meeting with Pyongyang's leader Kim Jong-un. Trump is expected in South Korea on Wednesday for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum. Trump has said he hopes to meet Kim again, possibly this year. Kim said last month he had fond memories of Trump and was open to talks if the United States dropped its delusional demand that Pyongyang give up its nuclear weapons. Minister of Industry and Transport and Deputy Prime Minister for Industry. The world of business and finance, Minister of Industry and Transport and Deputy Prime Minister for Industrial Development, Engineer Kamil Al-Wazir, met on Saturday with Moroccan Ambassador in Cairo, Mohammed Ait Ouali, to discuss ways of strengthening cooperation between Egypt and Morocco in fields of industry and transport. The meeting addressed ways to enhance industrial and investment cooperation, as well as collaboration in the field of transport between the two brotherly countries. During the meeting, the Minister of Transportation asserted Egypt's keenness to provide a supportive and stimulating environment for Moroccan investors and confirmed Egypt's aim to establish genuine industrial partnerships that achieve economic integration and mutual development. For his part, the Moroccan ambassador praised the remarkable progress Egypt has achieved in infrastructure, industry and transport. He also affirmed his country's keenness to strengthen bilateral cooperation and explore new investment opportunities in a bid to serve mutual interests. Top economic officials from the US and China ended the first day of talks in Kuala Lumpur on Saturday, with the Treasury spokesperson describing them as very constructive. The world's two largest economies are looking to avert an escalation of their trade war and ensure that a meeting happens next week between US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping. The talks on the sidelines of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit will chart a path forward after Trump threatened new 100% tariffs on Chinese goods and other trade curbs starting on November the 1st in retaliation for China's vastly expanded export controls on rare earth magnets and minerals. By that, dear viewers, we reached the end of this English News Bulletin. Came to you out of Channel 2. That was Reem Tamer. Many thanks for watching.